This is video 5. So for the first part, it'll be the documentation, which is right here. It's kind of one of the things that I didn't get as much time to work on as I would have liked. Just there was the other coding parts that I was working on, so I've at least commented everything, but there wasn't as many examples as I would have liked to get in, just for all of this stuff. So anyways, this is just what the documentation is. I don't think I should really go through everything, but yeah. So this is this with the documentation. The individual project was what I was putting a lot of time into recently, just making sure all this works. But I'll do the audio source first. So this is pretty simple. It's just the thing that's causing sounds in the game. So the variables that it has a location that the sound is coming from. It has a roll-off array, which is like how quickly the sound dissipates over space, and the user can set a custom one of these that I'll get to in a second. It has a volume for a float for the volume, a float for the pitch. It has a channel number that it is attached to. It has a channel group, so if you wanted to group multiple sounds together and change their volume and pitch, you can do that. It has an actual channel that it is assigned to, the sound file that it will actually play, and then just a few bools to see if it's a 3D sound, if it's on a stable channel, or if it is using default roll-off or custom roll-off that the user has made. So I'll just go to these functions real quick. These are just general sets, real easy. And then just a set roll-off was kind of a weird thing because I had to convert Azul vectors into Fmod vectors. So that's just that. So the audio source class is actually kind of nice, just nice and tidy. The manager was, once again, like every other manager, hash table with the gets and sets. So it has a load audio source function, unload all audio sources. It has a get, terminate, just like all the other singletons. It has a play 3D sound once, play 2D sound once, a create channel group, a pause of an entire channel group, an unpause of an entire channel group, a stop of a single sound, and then a find open channel function. Other than that, it has, since it's the singleton with the hash tables in it, it has a audio node table and an audio source table. It also has two different arrays. Actually, they're right here. Two different arrays. One is for stable sounds and one is for unstable sounds, and then just a couple integers to keep track of where it's at. These are mostly Fmod related setup variables and whatnot, just to get everything running. It has an initialize function. Here in the constructor, it sets up the tables for the hash tables. And of course, it is a singleton, so it has the instance thing. So I'll just go ahead and this is probably the biggest one. Actually, I need to show all of them anyways. So the load audio source, unload is just like all the other ones. The get is just like all the other ones. Nothing too fancy there. The play 3D sound is So I'll try and like go through this kind of quickly. Basically, it sets up, it gets the audio clip that's supposed to be played. It finds an open channel to use it on, and it uses the find open channel function. Oops. The find open channel function, and you give it a boolean to decide if it's on stable channels or unstable channels. Oops. So then it creates, it gets the audio source. It sets the channel to that audio source. Then it checks if the default roll-off it checks to see if the user has applied a default roll-off or a roll-off at all. And if they have not applied something to it, it uses the default roll-off. Sorry, words are hard. So once it's done all that, it creates the sound. So this line here is actually creating the sound. So it needs to give it four things: the sound that it's going to play, the channel group that it's in, that it's part of. This is just a boolean to check if it's playing or not. And then temp, I believe, is the channel. So it's kind of funny. I had to initialize it as paused at first, then clamp volume between 0 and 1, apply the position and space, and then the volume and pitch. So apply all of those things while it was paused, and then immediately after doing that, unpause it. If I didn't do that, it created a weird pop noise. I don't know, it was weird. But anyways, so that's that. So that was the playing 3D sound. The playing 2D sound is very similar. The only difference is it doesn't have this position stuff down here. It sets the mode to be a 2D sound and then plays it. Creating a channel group. Pretty simple. With just checking to make sure that the numbers you're giving it are clamped, and then applying those. Pausing a channel group was pretty simple. It was just basically a wrapper saying the unpause. The stop sound, surprisingly, this took me forever to figure out because I was trying a bunch of other stuff that was just not right, and it was just so simple. So just getting the audio source and telling it to stop, or telling its channel to stop. That's all that was. The find open channel, like I said, you give it a boolean, and it'll go through the arrays at different locations, depending on if you're giving it stable or unstable. And then the initialize audio manager just kind of sets up the fmod system and then make sure that it's running properly. So that's that. So that was the manager. The node is just like all the other nodes for the hash table. So then the last one was the audio listener, and this was the easiest kind of one out of all of them because all it really is just a position. It sets up a default position to be 0, 0 if you don't tell it where to go. But other than that, the user can apply an audio listener pointer to a game object, and then set its position each frame to be whatever that game object is. And then really this just, so what I did at first is I just got the position to work, and then eventually I got the rotation as well. So basically if you have an object that's right next to you and you're facing north and it's on the left of you, you'll hear it out of your left ear, and then if you don't move at all, you just turn, do 180, you'll then hear it out of your right ear. So it's doing the position and rotation of all that stuff. So that's good. I guess I should probably show it. The audio might be a little funky, so Okay, so it's playing a 2D audio background noise. Let me see. I'm gonna shoot. Hopefully it's not too loud. Yeah, so you can hear that's all going fine. You probably couldn't even hear it. It was really quiet, picking up the health there. But if I run into this guy, yeah, that's really quiet. You can't even hear that. Let's see. Yeah, you can't even hear it. So the roll-off is a little bit funky. It was giving me a pain the whole time. It does work if I turn off the music. You can hear these guys on this side out of this ear, and then if you rotate, you can hear it out of this ear when they're firing. So that's working. I guess I should just show in the frigate what it looks like to apply it. So let's see. In the update, all it really is it just has an audio listener pointer attached to the frigate, and then you set its position. Give it the position that it's at and the world matrix so it can grab the rotation from it. So I think that's all of it. Like I said, the roll-off is a little bit funky sounding, just because I couldn't spend enough time to get the levels of everything working properly. But it does actually, work. You just have to get really close to them for the roll-off to apply. But yeah, I think that's everything for the audio stuff. It was everything that I was saying I was going to get done. The only thing I didn't was the reverb zones, and even then, yeah, this is the final plans. Even then, I was setting it to be a stretch goal anyways, because I knew there was going to be a lot of stuff with, this stuff, getting it in. So I didn't have enough time to get the reverb zones in, just, time working on other stuff. Yeah, so I think I got pretty much everything I set out to put in. The only thing was that the roll-off was not actually stored. I think I said the roll-off was stored in the listener. It was actually stored in the channel. But other than that, I think all of that should be good. Cool. Thanks.